Hi there. This is another video for Inthekoots bloggers, part of a series showing you how to get the most out of your blog on the network. This video is going to cover how to use our calendar system. So here's a blog that I've got on Inthekoots, Beards and the Kootenays, and I want to have a calendar on here so I can list events that interest me. To get started on this, first you have to activate the calendar. Click on Dashboard up here, and then on the right hand side, scroll down to where it says Plugins. The calendar is essentially a bit of software that you plug into your website. You want to look for where it says the all-in-one calendar plugin. Here we go. You may need to make sure that you're on the inactive link. There's all and inactive. Those lists can be different depending on what you've done with your blog earlier. So once you find it, it's here, the all-in-one event calendar plugin. Click Activate. Your page will refresh and you'll get a notice up at the top. Now unfortunately at the moment there's a bug, and if you click this link you get taken to this page here, which doesn't help us at all. You actually do have sufficient permissions to access this page, but there's a glitch in our system. It's okay, there's a way around it. When I activated that plugin, a new option showed up on the left here called Events. This is where we can configure our calendar. Click the gray drop-down triangle here and scroll down to Settings. So this is how we set up the calendar. This is a step that you just have to do first. So there's a couple of things. Where this calendar is actually going to appear, I usually just leave it to this setting. It's going to create a new page for this. Every time somebody comes to visit your calendar, there's going to be a default view. At the moment we have two options, a month view or an agenda view. I'm going to leave it as the month view. Next, and this one's pretty important, set the time zone. The default is, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this, Windhoek. I don't know where that is. So what I'm going to do is scroll down until I find Vancouver. If you go down to America, click Vancouver. Now this is for those of us in the West Kootenay. If you're in the East Kootenay, set your time zone to Edmonton. Now if you're in Creston or parts of the east shore of Kootenay Lake, you're going to have to tweak this depending on the time of year, because you guys have got your own thing happening with the time zones. Next, with the week starts on, myself I like to set it to Sunday, and that's about all you have to do at the outset. We'll get into some more of these options later on, but this is just going to be a basic video. Click Update Settings, and there we go. After you've hit Update, you'll want to create some categories for your blog. This is just to help make it easier to sort your events later on. Under the Events options, you have Event Categories. Click that. You'll be taken to a page where you can manage these. So you'll want to give some thought to the kinds of events that you're going to be posting in your calendar. Mine will have, say, seminars, and I encourage you to pick a category or a color for each category. This just makes it visually easy to tell what's happening on your calendar. And it will show up there once it's done. Just make a few more just for this example. For this example. So if we go to the front end And here you can always get to the front of your blog by finding your name here at the top, which is a link, clicking that. We can now find our calendar. But it's pretty empty. So I'm going to show you how we can get an event in there. Go up to Dashboard, and you'll see we have two new options here, New Event and Manage Events. Click New Event, and you'll be taken to a page that looks remarkably like your dashboard for when you're adding a new post. You can see the categories that I created just a minute ago, spot to put in information about the event, and then down here is where we will put in information regarding the date, time, location. Okay. So I'm just going to make an event up. That's good enough. This will be a film screening. And then I'm going to scroll down and set the date and time. Click on the first field and pick the day that it starts, and then the time. Now if you want your if your event maybe doesn't have an end time, you can set the end time to be exactly the same, and when your event is displayed in the calendar, you'll just see the start time. But if you know when your event is going to end, there you go. Now, say this was a reoccurring event. Say I'm going to be doing a film screening of Beards of the World every day. I can click the repeat. Some options come up. It can happen every day, every week, every month. You can set the number of times that it happens, or alternatively, you can set the number of times that it happens, or the last date that your event is happening. Finally, give the name of your event. And the address. Be sure to go right down to the proper community. You'll see at the outset, you'll have seen at the outset that it was saying that this event was happening in somewhere, I think it was in Taiwan, which doesn't really help people. So make sure you type in the correct address, including the community. Our calendar has a great feature that I can show a map highlighting where the event is happening, which is great for people that are perhaps new to your community. You can put in the cost, and then any contact information if you like. Okay. With all of that done, click. You can either preview it, make sure. Once you're happy with how it looks, close that tab, and then hit publish. We can now go back to our calendar and see our event. Thank you for watching.